How did security personnel on the ground, how is it that the crowd was acting as their surveillance team and picked out the threat and they missed it? Can anybody explain this? These aren't even trained security personnel. They're just rally goers. They're the ones telling you got a guy on a roof getting ready to kill someone. Check this out.
Folks, I know most of the political focus is on the RNC right now, as it should be, but I also don't think we should forget to keep asking questions about what exactly happened on Saturday and how the obvious security failure behind the Trump assassination attempt was allowed to happen, right? We need to keep digging to the bottom of this. How was that shooter allowed to get less than 150 yards from the president? Why wasn't the Secret Service guarding that area? And in the coming past couple days, we keep hearing new things that just don't add up. First of all, you have the Secret Service director, who you would think should absolutely be fired after this total failure of security, and Biden refuses to fire her, and she is also refusing to step down. And that has, of course, been a repeated cycle with the Biden administration. Incompetence or just straight up malice is not punished, it's actually rewarded, right? You notice Biden did not fire any of the military brass who led the failed withdrawal from Afghanistan. He won't fire the Secret Service people. He will not even fire the very advisors that are currently sabotaging his 2024 re-election campaign. So there is that. We are also hearing numerous reports from eyewitnesses and from some things that are being reported in the media that apparently the Secret Service was tipped off about this shooter beforehand and again failed to do anything. And here's a couple of things I do want to note. So I do want to react to Dan Bongino's take on all of this, because he obviously is a former Secret Service agent himself, and so he has more expertise in this regard than I do. But I also think to some degree there's a lot of common sense here, right? I think even if you don't have a security background, even if you have no background in law enforcement, there are still very basic questions here that don't quite add up. I even said this on Saturday. I said, look, you know, I know nothing about Secret Service, but I'll tell you this. If I was in charge, if you put me in charge, if you put the vast majority of you in charge, you would think you would secure a rooftop where the president was only 150 yards and speaking in the open air there. So that's that to consider. So we're going to talk about all of this in today's video, folks. If you enjoy the content, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Your subscription definitely helps go a long way in supporting the content, so I appreciate it. But all right, just some preliminary information here. Nick Sortor reported this yesterday. He says apparently 2 Pittsburgh motorcycle unit supervisors that were trying to help Trump and the people in the stands just got transferred out of their unit because they, quote, never got permission to assist Trump. So if you're confused here, you may have seen those videos of the local police rushing to help the people in the stands, rushing to try to assist Trump. If you know how this works, usually Secret Service does operate in conjunction with the local police. Well, apparently these people are getting transferred out of their unit, right? Bureaucratic administrative forces are being told they are released from their current positions because they apparently usurped authority to actually go help Trump and go help Corey and the people who were injured in the crowd. Because of course, how dare you do something like that? The entire thing is fishy. So that is just yet another aspect of this that really does not add up, right? It just doesn't make sense. What is going on here? How come, by the way, the leadership of the Secret Service is not being replaced, but the police officers who actually stepped up, who actually did a heroic act and tried to fill the role that Secret Service failed to, how come they're getting punished for it? How come they're getting transferred out of their positions? And so look, folks, I am not here to spread actually any conspiracy theories about it, despite the fact that people are going to accuse me of doing that. I'm not out here saying that it was an inside job or anything. All I am simply saying is that it is important we get to the bottom of the facts on this issue in terms of what actually happened. I am saying that I don't know what happened, okay? some things are possible. Everything, I think, should be questioned and should be looked at, and that's all I am saying. But of course, for asking these very simple questions, we are all being punished for it. We're being called crazy. How dare you question these things, even though, again, the entire thing is completely shady, right? You mean to tell me somehow, you know, nothing weird was going on when Secret Service didn't secure that rooftop? Anyways, let's listen in here to Dan Bongino's take on all of this. Like I said, former Secret Service agent, because perhaps he can tackle some of these pressing questions even more than I am. So take a listen.
Absolutely no way that the Secret Service should be putting out public statements indicating right now that that wasn't their responsibility. Brother, everything is your responsibility, okay? Keeping the president alive is your responsibility. If a rookie sniper at 130 yards can come within a millimeter of taking out the potential future president of the United States, then let me tell you something. That's your freaking responsibility. Where was the perimeter surveillance team, and how did they miss this thing? How did they miss it? He was on a white roof in the middle of the day. There's absolutely no excuse for them to have missed this thing. None. Zero. I told you in the beginning, they had been, in the beginning of the show, I think it's breaking here from a source, they had been tracking this guy from the minute he approached the event. They lost him. Why was President Trump even on the stage?
Right.
Does anybody have an explanation for that? Here's TMZ video from TMZ. Well, I just said TMZ video. I want you to listen to the response of the crowd. How did security personnel on the ground, how is it that the crowd was acting as their surveillance team and picked out the threat and they missed it? Can anybody explain this? These aren't even trained security personnel. They're just rally goers. They're the ones telling you got a guy on a roof getting ready to kill someone. Check this out.
I hope he's turning this way. Be careful, guys.
What are you doing?
Yo, what's that? What's that?
Somebody go inside. He's right there.
Look, I'm sorry. Let me just say this. I know sometimes like conservatives get offended when you do this, but all the people who are saying that one Secret Service guy is a hero, law enforcement was heroic in how fast they acted. No, they were not. I am so tired of this talking point that just because we're conservatives and we back the blue, we need to make all the excuses for Secret Service, for the local police, whatever, when we don't even know the facts. It's like half of you guys are speculating that it's an inside job, which I think every stone needs to be turned over here, right? But then simultaneously, you have so many conservatives out here who are saying like, props to the Secret Service. Let's not trash the law enforcement on the ground. This is a failure of the leadership. It's like, okay, maybe that's true, maybe that's not, but I'm sorry, okay? The fact of the matter is this. The Secret Service especially are supposed to be the most highly trained elite people in the world. Their job is to protect the president. And the sheer fact of the matter is that if someone did get a shot off on Trump, which happened, they failed. They failed in their job. Why did they fail? I'm not here to say why. But this idea that like, we're not allowed to criticize this, we're not allowed to say actually Secret Service failed horrendously, law enforcement maybe to some degree also on the ground failed horrendously. You have regular people here in the crowd who were tipping off. I just saw an article released from Fox News like 5 minutes ago that says that apparently the Secret Service were tipped about the potential shooter an hour before this even happened. Can we stop defending this, guys? Okay? Again, I'm not speculating on the conspiracy theories of what happened. I'm really not. Because I think we need to get to the bottom of the truth first, right? We need to find out exactly what happened. There's a million different things that could have happened. That said, the FBI investigating it means we probably won't even get the truth. You know how that goes. But at the very least, okay, can we stop saying that the Secret Service guys are heroes for stepping in here when objectively, if someone got a shot off at the president, they're not. They failed in their duty. And then secondly, you don't even know what was really going on here. I don't know. Just some things to think about, okay? That's just what I'm saying here, you know?
Oh no. Yes.
Sat, where's Sat? Sat's up his fucking gone.
Fucking sick world.
Dude, that's exactly why we need fucking Trump here.
Oh, the fucking Secret Service don't fuck around, man. You gotta fucking
Guys, we have specific Secret Service security personnel and law enforcement personnel who were dedicated to a surveillance function to surveil people. How is it that this was missed? I don't understand.
Exactly. But people want to say it was a freak accident. We couldn't see it coming. Yes, they could. That's why, again, all you conservatives out here who are saying, like, you know, props to that sniper from the Secret Service. He made a tough decision. Maybe he did, right? Maybe he wasn't really in on it or the failure or whatever. But you should not be praising people before you don't even, like, know what their role was or if they actually failed in their responsibility. That's all I'm saying on this, okay? And you look at the current situation. You may have heard yesterday that you had at least 2 potential shooters outside of the RNC in Milwaukee. I believe one guy ended up being killed by the police. Someone else was arrested because they were found with an AK-47. Again, this is in Milwaukee around the RNC. I still have serious concerns. I really do, okay? In terms of, do they have their act together this time or do they not? Because I see the Secret Service chief is not resigning. She says, oh, I take full responsibility, but I don't feel the need to resign. Biden's not getting rid of her. Like seriously, like it is in an indoor space, so it's a little safer. But who's to say the security is all that great, even at the RNC? You know, I have my serious concerns about that. I don't know. That said, folks, the conclusion of this video, again, is not to say this is what happened or that's what happened or it's an inside job, it was this, it was that. But the more information that comes out, the more the whole thing is completely shady, right? At best, it is gross negligence. It is total malpractice. One excuse I've heard is that, you know, local police and Secret Service are working together. So maybe Secret Service, the guy on that rooftop, thought that it was a police sniper that was on top of that roof, and that's why they were miscommunicating. But even then, I would still think, again, the guy was up there for several minutes. Wouldn't you radio in and say, hey, do you guys have someone on the roof? If not, boom, right? But none of these things happened. An innocent man is dead, and the president, our Republican candidate for president, was a millimeter away from being killed, okay? So I think the least we could do is keep asking questions in terms of what happened. We want to know the truth. That's all I'm saying in this video. We want to know the truth. And, you know, I don't know if enough people are vigilant in actually getting to the bottom of that truth, okay? All I'm saying. That's it, folks. Let me know your thoughts. Be sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Until next time, God bless and peace.